So welcome back. This is the AWS Pentest Lab series. This is video 3. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for your time. Hopefully you get something out of this series, and hopefully you have something in the end to where you're happy with, and that from investing your time. I'm going to try to do my best to take you through this. This lab is actually pretty technical for this one. So let's get into it. I would like to start off by introducing myself. My name is Jeff Jung. You could get me at LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/Jeffrey-Jung. Add me, let me know that you saw this video, and let's get connected. I also have a Twitter. My Twitter is JeffJung14. Follow me on Twitter. I like to post about cybersecurity, and I'd love to connect with you. I am a student, so I'm going to college. I'm taking classes in cybersecurity. A little bit more about me. I really like to learn, and I love going to classes, and I love finding out new things, and I love being able to apply it and growing my knowledge. I have a background in sports, and specifically coaching. And one last thing, I'm an avid hiker. I love to be outdoors, and I really like to make videos. So let's get into this one, and hopefully you like it. So let's just start off talking about the agenda. Big picture, this is a 3-part series. The first part was I created an EC2 through the Amazon dashboard. I SSH'd into that EC2 and obtained root. In the second video, I made a lamp stack on the EC2 instance, and I configured the lamp stack to set it up for video 3, which is what you're watching right now. In this video, I'm going to be installing the lab portion, and it's going to be really good. It's going to tie everything together, and you'll have a finished product at the end of this video. So I want to talk about, why do you want to do this? What we're doing is we're creating a lab that has pen testing capabilities that can be accessed from anywhere. So if you have a laptop and you're normally used to hooking that laptop up to a network and then pen testing on that or you're pen testing to that machine, like using it as a tool for, doing whatever testing of the network, you can do that. But in this lab, what we're making it so you don't have to carry a laptop around. So if you don't want to carry that laptop and have your Pentest Lab hooked up on your laptop, you can do this. And what we're doing is we have an EC2 instance up in the cloud that's accessible through browsers anywhere in the world, and you don't have to carry anything. You just log into it, and you have your lab. It's like a portable web-based lab. So the key takeaways are this for this video. We're going to install the DVWA. We're going to install SQLi, and we're install Motillidae. So what this is going to do is going to show you what the importance of installing those packages in the previous video is, because we're going to have a working lab that will be accessible through the internet. These are the requirements for this lab. We're using Ubuntu version 18.04. We're using Apache version 2.4.29. Our MySQL version is 5.7.31. Our PHP version is 7.2.24. The DVWA version is 1.1, and the Mutillidae version is 2.7.14. So that's what we're using today, and I'm going to show you how it works in this demo. Now, first of all, I want to go over what is an EC2 instance, because the EC2 instance is like the basis of this lab. It's the most important. It's like the key piece of technology. So an EC2 instance is like a virtual machine, but it's having a virtual machine on Amazon's machines that you access through the internet. So it's not on your local computer, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon's computers. And these EC2 instances are reliable because they have a lot of infrastructure. They have all of Amazon's infrastructure hosting them, so you don't have to worry about any of that like going down or anything, because Amazon has robust infrastructure. They're scalable, meaning that Amazon allows you to add resources to your EC2 instance, and you can make it faster, you can make it have more storage, whatever you want, whatever your needs are, the EC2 instance can be scaled to your needs. It's infrastructure. So an EC2 instance is like an actual machine. So you can connect things to it, you can set policies to the machine, you can set IP addresses within a network. It's just like a normal machine. So think of it as like a virtualized piece of infrastructure. And the final point I want to make about the EC2 instance is that it's on demand, meaning that you can shut it down and you can access it as you need it, which is really convenient. So now I want to go over, how does AWS work? So on the right, you see the diagram of what AWS is. So AWS is divided up into regions all around the world. And then those regions have a bunch of data centers that are spread out within the region, and they're connected. And these are called availability zones. So a group of data centers is going to make up an availability zone, and then within that availability zone, you can host different devices. In the case of this lab, we're hosting an EC2 instance, and we're putting Ubuntu on that instance. So we have all this Amazon's infrastructure. It's already built, and they host everything. They take care of it all, and it's connected to the internet. And so the internet is like all your devices, your computer, your tablet, your phone. And what you do is you connect through the internet and through an SSH connection into Amazon's region, and it'll get you access to your EC2 instance, and it's just connected by SSH. So here's what's going on in this lab. I have my PC, which I'm on at 192.168.0.173, and over on AWS, like the AWS boxes and regions, like that is all set up by the AWS dashboard. So you configure everything, you configure your regions, you select your availability zone, and this is like what I did in the first video. I set up the EC2 instance through the dashboard, and it gave me, the private IP address, gave me a public facing IP address that, you can go to, and then you can SSH what I'm doing, right? So that's public facing. What I'm doing is I'm going to the back end through the internet through an SSH connection, and then configuring the Ubuntu server on the EC2 from my PC. So there's on this EC2 instance, there's two parts. There's dependencies, and then there's the actual lab. So this is what we did last lab. We're using Linux. We put an Apache package in that Linux. We put MySQL in the Linux, and we put PHP on there. And together, that's like a common website package, and like website running to have a website be capable of running, you need these packages. So that's what the last video was. And the reason why is because of this. We want to run applications on our website that are going to be actually accessible. So there's 3 applications that we're going to be installing. There's one's DVWA, which is like, it's a web-based penetration lab. There's SQLi, which is a lab that teaches you about SQL injection. And then there's Motillidae, which is another web-based penetration lab. And it's like, they serve as like tutorials. So this is like the end goal. This is what is actually hosted, and the interface of like what you would interact with on the EC2 instance. So this is like just another way of saying, on this machine we're having 2 parts. On the right hand side is the lab. On the left hand side is the the packages that you have to install before you install the lab. So yeah, that's just like the 2 different parts of the machine. So what we'll be working on in this video is the right hand side. So here we go. First, we're gonna install something called DVWA. And you do that by going to a certain directory, and you take a file and you edit that file. And we're going to edit that file. We're going to put in our Ubuntu user that we made in the previous video, and we're going to put in the password. And then we're going to save that file. And then we're going to go to the DVWA website, and we're going to get in, and we're gonna configure it. It's just gonna be hosted on the EC2 instance. So let's get into so that's what we're gonna do in this portion of the demo. So here's my terminal. So I want to go to this directory. var www html. And I have these commands here, and I just wanted to say these commands come from the blog that is listed in the description of this video. So if you want these commands, like, go to the blog and copy them. I'm just going to copy them and put them in. It's easier that way. So I'm going to take this git command in the www HTML directory, and I'm going to enter that git command. Then I'm going to into the DVWA folder. DVWA has to be in capitals. And then I'm going to go into the config folder. So now I'm in the config folder and I have some files and I need to rename a file from config.inc.php.dist to config.inc.php. So let's put that in here. And now what I did was I renamed that file, and now I'm going to nano that config.inc.php file, and I'm going to put in my Ubuntu and my password. So when I access this, it will access the PHP code on the back end. So here's my config file, and all I want to do is change the user to Ubuntu, and I want to change the password to 123, and I am ready to save it. Great. So now let's kind of review what we did here. In the terminal, we went to the var www.html directory. We put in this GitHub repo into that thing. And then we went into a certain directory of DVWA config. And then we put in a move command, which basically renames it. And that adds a lab to the system. And then I went in, I nanoed into that config file and I changed the username and password. So now what I want to do is I want to navigate to the DVWA folder through the web. So to do that, I need to do this. I need to get the IPv4 address right there. I'll put that there. DVWA config.php. Oh wait, that might not be. That might not be the address. Oh, sorry, it's not config.php. It's DVWA setup.php, and then we're on this like setup page for DVWA. And what we want to do is go down here to the bottom, and we want to click on Create Reset Database. Access denied. I wonder why I'm getting access denied. Let's try it one more time. Could not connect to the database service. Access denied for user. Ubuntu. Oh. So I spelled Ubuntu wrong in the nano file. See down here, This will fix it. Sorry about that. Yeah, make sure you spell your username right. And then click reset database. And it looks like you're good to go. There's a DVWA. You can log in. But there it is. It's working, right? You can now set up users and give people access to it. So DVWA is set up. Let's see what the next step is. The next step is SQL injection, and it's a lab called Docon. So to do this, we want to go back to the var www HTML folder. Then we want to go into, we want to put a GitHub clone in there, and we want to then go into the SQLi edited version folder that's made, and then we'll go into the SQLi folder in that folder, and then we'll go into the SQLi connections folder, and then we'll edit a file called db-creds.inc. So you open that in your text editor, and then again you change the username to Ubuntu, and hopefully I spell it right this time. I'll be sure to spell it right so we don't have to do that again. And put in your password, and you save it, and then you can navigate to your SQLi lab after you set that up. And yeah, go to that and you can confirm that's ready to use. So let's take a look at the commands before we put them in. So you want to go to the var www HTML directory, and then you want to put in this GitHub right here, and then you want to rename. You want to move one of the folder that's created into a folder called SQLi, and then you go into that, and then you go into SQL connections, and then you edit that file after that, and you have a lab for SQL connections, and it gives you like tips and hints on like how to do that. So let's look into this. Again, I got these commands from the blog. Check it out in the link. It's a great blog. And here I am in the var www HTML folder, and I'm going to put this GitHub clone in there. So it's going to create this folder. We'll take this, go into this folder, the SQLi edited version folder. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to move SQLi labs to SQLi. Then I'm going to go, so now I'm going to go into the SQLi folder. Go in to the SQLi. So it's actually when you do that move, SQLi labs and then ... SQLi, it puts it one directory it puts the SQLi folder one directory above. So you have to exit out, go up one level from that directory, and then you can go in the SQLi directory. So now I'm in the right directory, and then I need to go in one more directory called cdsql connections. And now you see in the bottom left hand corner that db-creds.inc, and that's the configuration file that I need to put my username and password in so that I can log into SQLi lab. So let's do this, nano db creds. Now go to the name. Oh wait, not that one, sorry. DB user, Ubuntu 123. Save that. And we should now be ready to go into SQLi lab. So you put in the public domain DNS/SQLi, and here we are, the hosted SQLi lab. Doc-on, it's all created, and you can poke around in here, learn how to SQL inject. So now what's the last step? Almost there. We're almost there. I know it's a lot of commands, I know, but here we go. We're installing something called OWASP Motillidae. So I'm gonna do another GitHub in the www HTML folder again, then go into Mutillidae, go into includes, and I'm going to modify the database access file, and then I'm putting in Ubuntu 123, and then I'm going to navigate to the public DNS/Motility, and I'll have this will be a third lab. So let's do this. Shouldn't be too difficult. So let's go. We're back in the www HTML. Put in this GitHub. Then we need to go into cd Mutillidae. Then we need to go into cd includes. And let's see if that file is in here. That file is, I believe it's that database-config.inc. So let's copy this command. Let's nano the database-config.inc. Almost there. We're almost there, guys. Change the username to Ubuntu. Change the password to 123. Control X. And it's saved. So now we're ready to go back in our web browser. So let's go back to our web browser. And we'll do the public DNS/Mutillidae. Okay, so this page comes up, and the way I solved it was this. I go to setup/reset, and I click on that, and this page pops up. You hit OK, and there you go. There's Mutillidae. And these, if you need it again, these were the commands to get in to set up Mutillidae. So that concludes the third video. It's been a long journey setting up this EC2 instance, but you're ready now to go out and test with it. Again, go to the blog in the description and you can get all the commands for this video. The third part, installing the labs, there's a lot of commands, so it might be a good idea to get all the commands. But that's what we did. But we're done for now. So we've finished the third video, we've installed the labs, and we've found that we can log into all the labs through the internet. So if I can log into it in my browser, then you can log into it from any browser. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it so that we have control of our lab and we make our lab accessible. So hopefully this helped you. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, connect with me on LinkedIn or Twitter, and ask away. I'd be happy to help you. And thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned how to use the EC2, and hopefully you learned about the LAMP stack, and I wish you luck on your cybersecurity journey. So be ethical, be smart, and I wish you the best. Thank you for watching.